Millennials bring to the political debate a different attitude than older generations about the role of government. 54% of millennials would say that they would prefer a bigger government with more services than a smaller government with fewer services. Only 39% would agree with that latter statement. For all older generations, the percentages are exactly the reverse. It's a very similar kind of split between millennials and everybody else when it comes to the issue of regulation and how much government should regulate business. Those millennial beliefs will form the core of the nation's new civic ethos. Millennials are more trusting of government than other generations, and they're more interested in having an activist government play a role, not a statist, bureaucratic role of the New Deal, but play a role in shaping the nation's business.
We're already seeing that in terms of voting turnout, where millennials, while they certainly don't vote, and younger people tend not to vote at as high a rate as older generations, but millennials are voting at a higher rate than previous generations did when they were the age that millennials are today.
If history is going to repeat itself, we're ready for a turn away from this kind of distrust and division and discord into a period of relative consensus. Now, the reason you can do that is because you have not because everybody changes their mind, but because you have a generation that comes along that's unified in its beliefs, has sufficient numbers to become the center of the consensus, and then everybody reacts to that and aligns their beliefs accordingly.
Exactly. And so even if you look at the two parties, one party will be the party that runs things for the most part. The other party will have to follow along, but that party, the second party, will accept the basic premise under which the majority party is governing and will just simply try to do it a better way. And so in the 1950s, you had Eisenhower, who accepted the New Deal, didn't want to see it expanded a lot, but was at least willing to try to figure out a better way of doing things, and you did have programs like the Interstate Highway Program.
Right.
We think it's likely to be the Democratic Party now that is going to be the dominant force, but the Republican Party will figure out a better way of doing what the Democrats are trying to accomplish.
Well, millennials and their ability to use social media and internet network technologies, particularly if they're mobile, will be the tipping point, will provide the tipping point for how government changes its behavior in this arena, and will have enough influence, just like they have had in political campaigns already, on the functioning of government to change it to this cloud-based, open source kind of technological platform. That has enormous implications because it allows the government to be much more transparent in what it does. It allows for people to participate much more broadly than they currently do. It will require the election of millennials to public office, and it will also require them to take the terrific staff work they've done in campaign world and bring it into the functioning of government world. We'll have a richer, more tolerant, more inclusive civic life in the years to come.